Hello, squires and rebellious viewers. After many tales offering you homebrewed content for your games to enjoy, I decided to return to my roots and make a lore-only tale, so no free stuff for you in this description. Apologies. I don't know if you recall, but a few months ago in my Kerdrakar trilogy, I stated something about a band of criminals. I've been told that it is currently flying over Valonqar. Something about the hand of a scourge having escaped from the prisons of the city. That may be worth investigating. Well, after a short investigation, it turns out that they are indeed escaped, so I believe that it is time for you to know about them should you encounter them. As a reminder, over 70 years ago, the silence of Kerdrakar was shattered by a fire that burned from within. A civil war. A conflict so brutal that it redefined the segregation of the chromatic dragonkin forever. The spark was ignited by desperation. The chromatics, living under the shadow of the city's grandeur, rose up. This was not merely a protest for better conditions. It was a rebellion with a singular, terrifying agenda. The total overthrow of the Bahamtosh lineage. Led by a handful of charismatic champions, the rebellion turned the city into a killbox. For a few short months, Kerdrakar knew a violence it had never seen before, and in the end, the might of the established power prevailed. Was it for the best? Hard to say. The rebellion was crushed, but the leaders were not killed. They were captured, but in it, they became something else entirely. Near legends. First, there is Aratar Blackscale, known as the Scourge's champion. His legend was forged on the Draconic Terrace. Outnumbered 13-1, Aratar and his small band of rebels faced an overwhelming force of the elite guard. By all logic, they should have been erased. But Aratar possessed faith in his comrades and a command presence that turned frightened soldiers into an unstoppable wall of steel. Though many knackered scales and Ravenites fell that day, they achieved the impossible. Victory against the odds. It remained the most legendary skirmish in the city's history, and probably of all skirmishes I know of. Then there is Faraj Redclaw, the Red Fury. His title won in a moment of singular explosive violence. During a public address by the rebellion's strategist, Ithil, a Platinum Vanguard rider attempted to silence the speech, diving from the sky to arrest the leader. He did not account for Faraj. Alone, with naught but his battle axe, Faraj intercepted the airborne assault. In a duel that lasted mere seconds, he slew not only the elite Platinum warrior, but also tore apart the fierce wyvern mount beneath him. A display of raw, unadulterated fury that stunned the city into silence. Now, not all legends are born of heroism, some are born of terror. Heka Bluetail, the Azure Strike, earned his moniker through a bloody campaign of mutilation. His signature was a gruesome precision. When taking prisoners from the Drakenblood forces, Heka would mark them with a single, massive claw strike to the face. The accuracy was supernatural. Every single time, 2 eyes extinguished in one blow. He did not just blind his enemies, he left them as living warnings to those who would oppose the chromatic cause. Yet, muscle and fear alone do not win wars. There was the mind behind the madness. Ithil Whitefang, the tactician. As the leader of the Hand, Ithil rarely swung a blade. Their weapons were perspicacity, military knowledge, and a sagacity that allowed them to see 3 moves ahead of their enemies. Through a series of brilliant strategic decisions, they allowed the rebellion to punch far above its weight, securing victories that would have been impossible. Though the war was ultimately lost, the Knackered Scale survived today as a feared force within the city. That survival is the direct legacy of Ithil's military genius. And finally, there is Sartha Green Iris, the Zealot. Her power was not of the sword of the mind, but of the spirit. Sartha's title was ripped from the mouth of the Drakenblood by her unshakable faith in Tyametes. Even imprisoned, tortured, and maimed, her convictions remained unbroken. During the revolt, she spent her days preaching, galvanizing the tired troops of the Knackered Scales. Her voice compelling, her faith infectious, she recruited adherents not just from the oppressed, but from within the ranks of the enemy itself. She is the spiritual anchor of the rebellion, a reminder that ideas cannot be chained. These 5 heroic names are believed to be locked away in the dark, yet their legend stretches across the light of the city. They failed to take the throne, but in their failure, they forged a myth that ensures the Knackered Scales will never truly be broken. Well, the tale may be over, but if you stayed until here, I would like to apologize, for I have been misleading. I said that there wouldn't be anything free in this description, but the Caredraker campaign setting link has been added to the description of the first video in the Caredraker trilogy. Please enjoy. Now, next tale will be a massive update where I announce the publication schedule as well as the winners from the giveaway. So stay tuned. It was the night from Eldaria, and yet I smile.
And yet, I smile.